today I want to continue to part 2 of the Advanced Locomotion System and Animal Behavior Kit integration. So this is something that if you're watching this video and you haven't done part 1 yet, you'll be jumping into the middle of something. You won't have any of the correct files in the correct place and in the correct settings. So make sure you start out at video 1. As this is part 2, we'll have a playlist that you can go through. Hopefully this will just be a 2-part video. But we're going to continue on. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you've watched some of these things before, I'd encourage you to go check out our Discord server. It's a place that we all hang out, talk about game development. A lot of people have questions in there. If you're a member of the Patreon, there's a few benefits inside of the Discord. So if you want to go check out the Patreon channel, that's in the description below. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for this video so you get notifications of other videos that I put out. Whenever I put out something new, you get a little pop-ups. So make sure you do that. I've already described what these two products are. So let's go ahead and take a look where we left off. We're in the blueprints for ALS space character. Currently, we have a lot of errors, and we're going to start working through some of those errors. So let's go ahead and start by, we have an aim pitch and an aim yaw here. And so what we can do is, let's take a look at where this is being set. If you search for aim pitch, you notice this is the getter. And then you have a setter over here. So what you want to do is create these variables, and we want to open up the other blueprint that we've been working from as well. So under Animal Behavior Kit, we have characters and player, and then this player character. So this kind of helps us knowing where to go. We want to go to calculate aim offsets. So under calculate aim offsets, you'll see here we have the aim pitch. It is replicated. We'll see later if we can narrow it down and not actually use that, but I'm going to go ahead and create variable aim pitch. And notice that they are not local variables here. And the default is the category, so we don't have to change that, but it's replicated, so we need to change that. And the same thing with this aim yaw. So we'll go ahead and create that as well. And select replicated. And now let's compile it. Okay, so those errors are gone. Let's continue and we'll just work through some more of these. We have our trace distance. What I'll do is just kind of filter these on the left of the old blueprint. So trace distance. It's under the aim category. I'll just copy that name first and then we'll come back to that value. And this is a non-local variable. Right click, create that. Set your category. Then you'll want to compile so that it shows the default value. We'll go over here and copy this, something like 100,000. Paste that. And now those are the same. So we'll compile one more time. We now have our hit location. So either I can try to find that or I can just do hit location. All I'm looking for is the values. Once again, this is in the aim category, but there's no other settings that are custom. So we can create that. And then just set the category. Let's go ahead and move on to the right here. We have hit actor. This is under aim as well. Looks like no other particular settings. Compile that. Now aim mode active. This is under aim and it's replicated. The only default settings, so make sure aim and replicated for aim mode active. Compile and save that. Okay, so now we have some input actions. So this would be like press E, I would assume, something like that. Let's go ahead and open up the other project and just kind of compare what these inputs are, because I want to make sure that I'm kind of on the same page between these. We've removed a lot of the excess ones from ALS that we don't really need. So now we have those freed up to where we can use them in here. So we also have you'll notice there'll be ones that are red and some of these other things. We'll get rid of those, all these errors. We should be able to get this to where this is totally clear of errors here pretty soon. I'm going to jump to the next one as well. So we've got these input commands that you can press. It's the 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can go ahead and create some of these variables while we wait, because we have companion. Have companion is just a category name and a description. We could put the tooltip in there. Right click, create that category. Go ahead and copy these over. Just might help you in the future when you're running around trying to figure out what everything does. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the project settings. We'll go to the inputs. Let's just take a look at some of these. We have the action key, which is E, and we've removed that from ALS as far as the switching shoulders on E. So we can go ahead and create this input. We'll create it to be to where it's pretty much identical to this. You can't copy these, as you can see. I can paste inside of them, but I can't copy the value itself. So we'll just do action E and make one that is the same. So edit, project settings, go to input, plus all this action, and we'll have it be the E key. All right, now we will compile this. This should go away. Okay, and we'll do these command keys because I removed the 1, 2, 3, 4. Those command space 1 through 5. So let's go ahead and add these. This is the number 1. Two. This should take away all of those errors. All right, through 5. Okay, so we have the action keys 1 through 5. We'll hit compile, see these go away. Okay, now let's work through some of these other variables that are not created. So we can jump, there's target location, the category, and there's a value in there that's manually, that's not in there by default. You'll notice this here in a second. So let's create this with the category, and then we'll hit compile. You'll notice this value is empty, there's none. So what we want to do is copy target location, all one word with capital first letters. There we go. And now those should be the same. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have our set marker location reference. So marker location reference just has a category here. I don't see any other particular settings. So let's go ahead and create that. Compile, and that'll take that away. And that took away a section of them because these are repeats of the same one. So now we'll do get engage actor. There's a category here, and that looks like that's all the custom settings for that. Close this one. Okay. Set that category to companion AI, hit compile. All these go away. Okay. God mode. Let's see what they use for God mode. So God mode is, let's see, toggle God mode F. Take a look at our project settings. I don't remember anything using F currently. One thing we can do here to double check, I'm going to do pressed. If you see F here, you'll know I don't see the letter F. So I think we did remove all references to that. So we can put God mode as F so it matches the same. Look, just look, it's toggle God mode. First capitals on the beginning of the words, no spaces. Like that. And then F. I'll compile this. That error goes away. Now let's go to can take damage, Boolean. We'll create that. Let's take a look at if there's any particular settings for it. Can take damage. It is replicated. This box is checked. That is not a default. So let's go ahead and file that. Replicated and check the box. Now those are the same. We have an input for fire here, which most likely is the left mouse button here. Let's look, fire. Yeah, left mouse button. And so what we'll do is we'll go through and add that to the project settings here. I don't see any other. There's a right mouse button by default, but we don't have a left mouse button. Let's call this fire and left mouse. That should match the fire on there. So we have left mouse, fire. Okay, so we'll compile that. That'll take away that error. Aim mode would be right click. So really what we need to decide is, do we want to use the ALS right clicking? I really don't think so. I wouldn't for this demo, just because it's kind of pointless. This demo is more just to test functionality. You really want to go through and rework everything. But it's really up to you. You'll have to see what you're missing. But what I'll do is, let's do aim action. I'm going to make it so we don't use this. I don't want to use the ALS. So what I'll do is cut this. I'm going to go to this other one, paste it there. I'm going to replace aim mode with aim action. It's acting like there's no error. There shouldn't be any aim mode. Yeah. So when we hit compile here, that's still an error. Okay. So this will make it so it doesn't use the ALS, which will kind of cut out on some issues. We'll try it out. Of course, we always have the ability to go back. Now we're going to set the aim offset alpha. Let's make sure that this is not like a local, or we got aim offset. The category is animation. It is replicated. So we need to make sure that we do that. There's the category, replicated. File that so you can see that the values are all the same now. Now let's get the zoom amount, because this would have, it's better with this because this way it doesn't conflict. You remember ALS, when you right click, it kind of zooms in, it does some different things. We don't want that to happen. We have zoom amount, the category, I'm going to copy that. Another thing we need to look at is this value of 10. Then that looks like everything else is normal. So we'll compile, and then we will put the value of 10 in the zoom amount. We have our zoom in and zoom outs, which would be the scroll wheels. So let's go ahead and put those in so that you can use that. Input action, zoom in, one word, capital letters for each first word. I'll add 2. Zoom in. And zoom out. And this will be, zooming in will be mouse wheel up. And then zoom out will be mouse wheel down. Okay, so let's go and compile and save this. Those errors have gone away. Get the show HUD Boolean here. So the category is player stats. You will notice the box is checked. That's not a default. So we'll put the category there, compile, and we'll check that box. The ability to toggle your visibility. Let's look in this one. That's the R key that we did remove. That was the reset world. So that key is now available again. So we should be fine if we want to create one called toggle visibility. And that is the R key. Okay, now we have a Boolean here for get visible. So is it visible? Let's take a look at the stats for that. That is replicated. It does have a category and a description, and the value is set. So let's go ahead and do all those really quick. It is replicated, compile, value is set, and let's get that description. Now you notice they are the same. This list is getting much shorter. We're almost to the end of it. We want to be able to toggle the bait type. Let's see what letter that is. Toggle bait type. That's tab. We aren't using tab anymore. That was something that we removed from those test keys that were in ALS. But we should be free to use tab as well. The toggle, I'm just going to copy this name. So we'll toggle bait type. And that is tab. Okay, let's go ahead and compile this. We have a few more variables to set. We have player HP and current HP. So let's see what those are. HP. We have player. We're going to have a category here, player stats. I'm going to get that right now. We'll create these. We'll put them in the category that they're both in. Player stats. And then for player HP, that starts out at 20. Like player HP, pilot, and place 20 for that value. For current HP, that is replicated, but the value starts at none. There are descriptions that we'll do here, so let's just remember, I'm going to copy the current HP definition in there, and then I'm also going to make it replicated. Now I'm going to go back to that player HP, I'm going to copy that description, and bring it over to the player HP tooltip. Okay, so now those are set. And we have a notify set player HP. So we need to look at this very particularly. Notify set player HP. You'll notice this one is a rep notify. The rest of the things are all default. But we need to create this here. Create variable. We need to set the replication to rep notify. Notice on the left, it added that rep notify, one of those ones that we didn't have before. So let's go look really quick. So we have this shoot bait. Looks like it's the remaining thing that needs to be fixed. And we'll go in and put more code. There's one more rep notify that I don't know why maybe it's referenced outside of this set of blueprints, so we're not seeing it. But we'll go through and create that as well. So on here, we have shoot bait. Let's look at the other project. This is one of the last ones. It's the right mouse button. That is our aim, but we're not using the aim of ALS. So let's go ahead and let's try this. Let me double check one thing. So we have our toggle bait type. We have our shoot bait. We have fire. There was something else I switched for the aim action. I'm just wondering, let's take a look at that really quick. Because I feel like there's something I did that doesn't quite seem right. So I want to find that really quick. So we have aim mode that I put for aim action. Let's look here for aim mode. And I'm not seeing it there, so I'm wondering. There it is. Okay, so it's Q. So I need to fix that. So that needs to be, aim mode needs to be Q. That's what I was wondering, because the right click was using something else. And I didn't want us to have something not operate. This needs to be set to Q. So we'll go to project settings here. We'll go to aim mode. Actually, aim. Well, let's rename this to aim mode. Actually, this one we'll keep calling aim action, but we'll add one called aim mode. And then replace that. Okay, so we got Q here. So now let's put, instead of aim action here, we will have aim action. We can go use that again. Let's do aim mode and then connect that up. That way that stays clear. The shoot bait, that can be our fire key. So let's take a look at that. Shoot bait was the right mouse here. That's the aim action. So we'll just put aim action here. Might be a little bit confusing. You can rename those. You can have them be whatever you want. But okay, so now we've gone through. We've got all these blueprints put in, but we have these notifies that we need to take a look at. So let's go over here and look in the blueprint. Actually, it should be over here. Let's just look on this player character here, and we have our rep notify of set player HP. I'm going to double click that, copy all the content, go to the base character, now go to the empty rep notify that was created, and we will connect these up. Do a quick compile here to see. No errors, all of these things are already created. There is another notify. We need to look and see why this is here, took damage. I'm going to find references to this. Now, you see it's took damage. So let's look at the variable took damage. There's nowhere that it's referenced. Let's see if it's referenced anywhere else. Maybe code that he's not using. I'm going to add it anyways, because maybe for future things, he'll be making some changes. But as you can see, that doesn't exist at the moment. So what I'll do is I'm going to drag that out there. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to the event graph of ALS base character. I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to right click and create that variable. Now, we don't need this to stay here, but we need to look at these values. So I'm going to put it in the right category. It's a rep notify, because that's what we're trying to create, is that additional rep notify. Other than that, no other settings. So I'm going to delete this now. I'll compile that. And then we will compile. Save. And then you can delete this, this took damage. Now we have the on rep took damage. I just want to take that function and recreate it in case it's ever referenced later. So I copied out of the on rep took damage of the player character. I'm pasting it in here. And we will connect them up. There's a variable called taken damage, a float. It is replicated, so I'm going to copy that category name while we're in here. Right click and create that. Put the category in, replicate it, and then hit compile. Now that should match the two. Okay. So we have pretty close to all of the variables there. Now, everything won't work correctly because we don't have the animation blueprint set up for the aiming and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. We've got it to where the main blueprint is correctly connected. And then next video, we will go through and we will make it so that he holds his arms up, and we will merge the animation blueprint and do some testing and see how it works with the animals. So thank you very much. If you find these videos interesting, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell on this video so you get notifications of future ones. Also, make sure you check out our Discord. We're hanging out there all week, have a lot of fun talking about game development. People are showing off their work. People are asking questions. It's a great place, good resource. Also, if you want to help support me, get assets like this, get future assets, help support the channel, and encourage me to do more videos, make sure you go check out that Patreon channel. It is in the description below. So this is part 2. We'll be doing part 3 after this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you.